Hey guys, Kane here. I've got another 1v1 for you. It's going to be between Shadowfury and DeinFreund again. This time on a different map. It's going to be Kaleo. So it should be pretty interesting. Let's see here. This is a little wacky. Looks like Shadowfury actually spawned in kind of late. I'm not sure if this is going to play out very well then. Let's see. He does pull up the factory. It looks like they do play it out. So we should see a spider factory here from DeinFreund and then a cloaky bot from Shadowfury in the northeast here. Shadowfury's been using this recon commander lately, which is pretty interesting to see. Likes the mobility, probably the ability to jump micro as well. Not really sure what exactly happened, but seems to have not been able to join the game in time. Just a little bit late. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. A couple of fleas out from DeinFreund, but other than that, Shadowfury is still very much on par here. Well, actually, he did get a jump on the metal extractor, so this could be kind of rough. It'll be interesting to see. It'd be unfortunate if Shadowfury lost because of this, but I mean, he wants to play it out, so I guess that is his choice. We're going to see Solar Collector coming up here pretty quick. Probably another metal extractor soon, I would hope. But, actually, only 2 in the base, so I didn't realize rather than the standard 3, you only get 2 when you start in the corners here, which is, of course, the only choice for a starting position. Redback's coming out pretty early. Sorry about that. Redback's coming out pretty early here from DeinFreund. Once again, looking to preempt the Raider game, it seems like. So he'll be trying to take out these Glaives, but of course the Glaives have such excellent mobility that they can just run right around. Now, the Venom, of course, can be much more difficult to outrun, especially once they've been head off by it. So it looks like this Venom Redback combo is going to pay off, at least for the early scout here. They're going to head out to the east, it looks like. Hopefully he's going to assert some map control with these units. He really needs to make that happen early, just so that he can, well, make use of them. This is quite an investment, and it's going to be difficult to maintain map control just because of how slow the Redback is and the fact that he won't have very many units compared to the Glaives that Shadowfury should come out with. So he's going to need to keep these pretty far ahead, centrally located, so that they can easily respond to whatever attacks come in. And definitely going to need to use fleas to maintain visibility of the map and stay ahead of any incoming raids. Looks like Shadowfury is going to be heading, actually just around this hill rather than over it, which is interesting to see. You actually can run over this hill, I think I've mentioned before, but yeah, it looks like he will be running around it instead. Which, I mean, not really the biggest deal. Trying to come around the back here. Going to have a little bit of problems with the LLT if he comes in range of that first. Looks like he is going to be taking, definitely going around the backside here. Might be able to take this metal extractor without any, yep, no retribution from the LLT. Oh, actually just barely in range. Got the jump on it, so he should be able to take the metal extractor, hiding behind a solar collector for just a moment, but once he got exposed, was ultimately taken out. A lot of early constructors from Shadowfury, so it looks like he's definitely going for the eco-heavy build here. 3 so early is very interesting to see, and now Rocco's coming pretty heavily out of the factory as well. Rocco's, of course, one of the better counters against the spider factory. You just have to watch out for a sudden flea switch, or maybe a group of fleas burrowed under the ground waiting for your Roccos to step forward, because a pack of fleas will absolutely rip a line of Roccos apart. Maybe surprisingly if you've never seen it happen before. Also, this Venom is able to stun out the Roccos if it's able to get the jump on them. So, and of course those Glaives are going to be essentially useless with the Redback here. But looks like DeinFreund's going to be using one Redback over here to secure this means of ingress, and then another one out here to sort of do the same thing on the right side. So very much splitting his army into 2, and it looks like we're going to see a Venom Redback combo on each side. So this is pretty interesting style of play. He's definitely got a specific plan here, and he seems to be executing it well enough. He has also made sure to claim this pretty quickly, and now I understand why he chose the Spider Factory. It was ease of access to this eastern plateau, but I think you can get the same advantage out of jump jets without the slow speed and the fact that you don't really have a solid raider. Especially when you're sure you're going to come up against Cloakies, but Shadowfury won't be using the Raiders at all. Having been pretty well shut down by the Redbacks, at the same time there's still plenty of avenues for him to come in by with a strong pack of Glaives. Looks like he's going to be relying heavily on Roccos for this, though. Well, it'll be interesting to see, especially if DeinFreund ends up changing over into Hermits or something like that. I've heard that Hermit Venom is actually a strong counter to the Rocco play, which is very common counter to the Redback Venom play that DeinFreund is using right now. So there is, at least in theory, an interesting counter triangle. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out, of course. Looks like Shadowfury is going to be moving his Rockets a bit out of position, trying to get this Hermit cornered over to the west side. And here the fleas, like I mentioned, no Glaives in here to help defend against this, and these Rockets are not very good against the Glaives either. able to get a few shots out and mostly clear out the fleas that have come in, but that Hermit's going to be cleaning up the Rockos as well. So that entire line of Rockos has gone down to just a handful of fleas and a single Hermit, as we saw there. Now this Venom's starting out the last Rocko on the way. While these defenders are... oh, actually, no, these are DeinFreund's defenders. Excuse me, I thought they were Shadowfury's. So it looks like DeinFreund's very aggressively pushing here. He's going to be using a pretty classic trick, building defenders just out of range of an LLT to take it out without suffering any damage himself. He's going to be setting up a nice defender line here, which is pretty good. If you're going to pork, you want to pork as forward as you can, and very much in a bottleneck where possible. This is certainly an excellent bottleneck to choose to try and pork heavily. At the same time, we see Shadowfury's commander coming out down the east side, going to be trying to expand through these metal extractors as well. In sort of a precarious position. I should also note that DeinFreund has failed to expand out here just in front of his base. There's 5 uncaptured metal extractors. Shadowfury, of course, has made sure to cap those quickly, so he's in a pretty significant lead now economically, up 5 metal per second at the moment, looking to increase that even more as he captures these metal extractors. These are very much supposed to be DeinFreund's mexes, but Shadowfury will happily take them if DeinFreund doesn't want them. This is what we're going to see here. Glade's doing a good job taking out this Venom. Interesting play here. Ooh, Shotgun Commander getting stunned out by the Venom. Potentially one more shot. Oh, is able to avoid getting stunned out. This Redback is just about to climb over the hill. Decides he wants to head back, wants to regroup with his buddies. Not going in for the kill just yet, although this commander is very much in danger, so it has to be careful. And it's interesting to see this Redback can actually crawl over the lava. I actually didn't know that, so I think that's an advantage the spiders have over the more land-based factories. Interesting to see. I'll have to see if I can come up with a use for that in one of my future games on this map. This commander taking some light fire from the skirmisher spider, but doesn't seem to be too concerned, at least at the moment. Probably wants to jump away pretty soon here. A couple more salvos and he will be in some trouble. He can definitely outrun the forest of spiders that we see here, but he doesn't have anything here to fall back on. Nothing really to back him up. No strong defenses here that he can retreat into, so if DeinFreund pushes the issue with his small army here, this commander could be in big trouble. A couple of fleas coming to raid out. Oh, these fleas could actually raid out this constructor, but it doesn't look like they'll be doing so. I'm completely undefended. This is exactly what fleas are good for. And of course, if Shadowfury ever makes it up onto this upper plateau and fails to put up an LLT, then fleas will be good for clearing that out as well. Really excellent flea use so far by DeinFreund. I've been very impressed. He used it excellently to take out the Rockos, used it in light raiding capacity, which is another use case, and then of course he used them early on for sort of a bit of an advanced warning system. Now that skirmisher is going to get taken now by the shotgun commander, this Redback is going to be a very big problem, so Shadowfury really needs to get out of there. Heading back to base, I would hope. Looks like he is going to be heading back to the safe ground. The commander coming up to do some raiding of his own, manages to take out a metal extractor. Now if DeinFreund manages to claim this corner as well, Shadowfury is going to be in pretty bad position here. Things have stopped going his way so much, despite having a pretty early lead. I thought it looks like DeinFreund built up enough of a force to overwhelm Shadowfury, and Shadowfury's Rocko plan didn't play out as well as he'd probably hoped. Ooh, one more shot. That commander goes down to 0% health, just 23 HP. Wow, at the last look, and this Hermit threatening to take the last shot, so this commander definitely needs to get out there. I would probably jump back into the cover of the base. Ooh, that one last shot comes in, and the commander does go down after all. I totally missed this, but here's the air switch from Shadowfury. One Raven up so far. This Hermit definitely has spotted out this Raven at this point, but it doesn't ultimately matter. Shadowfury throwing in the towel there as soon as the Hermit encroached on his base. See, look at this. Economically, it was actually pretty close. DeinFreund had the early lead, and then Shadowfury pulled out the economic lead at the end of the game there, but for some reason just couldn't drive it home. You know, it was kind of interesting. Let me try and recall here what exactly was Shadowfury's downfall, because as we saw on the chart, he did have the economic lead. I thought he was doing better militarily as well. I think what it came down to was DeinFreund was able to mask these a little bit. Oh, and then also DeinFreund was so quick to capture the metal extractors on the southeastern plateau, but he was slow to capture the ones in his base, and I thought Shadowfury was on par. So yeah, I mean, we've already established that Shadowfury economically was in the lead, so he must have just been outrated, I guess. Losing all those Rockos on the west side surely didn't help. I think once the Rockos died, he felt a little bit lost as far as ideas. I thought it was perfect. He just needed a couple of glaives to defend against the fleas. Other than that, the Rockos can handle essentially everything in the spider factory, maybe except for the recluses, but it didn't look like DeinFreund was relying too heavily on those. Maybe a little bit more towards the end, but if you can ball the Rockos, I mean, they'll take them out, no problem. You just need, like I mentioned, a couple of glaives to prevent any of these flea swarms from coming in. And other than that, the rest of the factory is definitely kept at bay by Rockos. And then there's also the option to go for a sniper, and Shadowfury also had the jump commander, so he could have taken this western plateau with his commander and moved a constructor down to the east instead. But it's not what we saw. Unfortunate game, but good to see the series tied up. I'll see if I can dig up a third match between these two players, but if not, it was definitely nice to end with a tie. So good game to both players. Definitely enjoyed that. If you have anything to add on, or if I gave them some bad advice, just let me know in the comments. Other than that, I'll catch you guys later.